I don't think there's any human that was watching UFC 194 that wasn't doing as Apollo Creed's trainer was doing. Throw the damn towel! Throw the towel, Jason!
He died, in case anybody was wondering.
I know, and the thing is, we're talking about the Weidman fight. Everyone exploded on the internet saying they shouldn't have let that fight go on as long as humanly possible as it did. The referee, I think, was very wrong to let go of the guillotine at the start, or guillotine as some people want to say. The guillotine at the start, that was a wrong decision there. But then also when we moved into the latter stages of the fight, Rockhold was just pounding him. And he looked like he wasn't responsive to and able to, I think the correct term in the rulebook is if he can't defend himself and can't defend his head, that's when you need to stop the fight.
That's what refs in both MMA and boxing look for, is usually they will say to them if they break, I mean, in this situation, no, but when they break up a fighter, they'll say, show me something. And if they can't show you anything, they're either going to get knocked out within the next 10 seconds, or they will just call the fight. So it's either you have to show some kind of counter, some kind of movement, some kind of not getting your face pummeled. So MMA Fighting, amongst many other sites, writes up the play-by-play recap. We can't show you the fight. We can leave you some links if you want to go see it. I just caught up on it as well. And it all happened at the end of round 3. Weidman rolls and Rockhold pounding with punches. They're landing. Weidman cut up. Referee Herb Dean, that's who you were mentioning before, calling for him to move. Rockhold continues to pound away. Weidman just getting pounded. He somehow survives until the bell. And when you read this, though, his right eye is battered. Rockhold drives in with the right hand and looks for a takedown. He gets him on the ground. Rockhold punches from the top. Rockhold definitely tired. Rockhold stands and then drives down with another punch. Weidman's face is just awful.
And that's when you can tell that okay, this is the purpose of this clip is, when is the right time to stop a fight? And I do get...
Probably around before face is just awful.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is with Rockhold was so tired from pounding his face that he was like resulting, obviously it's part of the technique, forearm, elbow, but when it came to before the fight was stopped, I didn't see much difference in Weidman for when he was stopped compared to when the fight was going on at the first point. And that's when I felt overall the referee needs to have better judgment at that point. But I do agree that we're going to get the other side of it, and that is completely right to have that argument.
Well, I want to say before that, we have a video of Luke Rockhold.
Okay, let's see the video.
Cool?
Yeah, I want to see the video.
Can we do that? May we see video of Rockhold? Jabbar?
Do you think that the fight should have been stopped before it did?
I thought it should have been stopped. I mean, going back and looking at it now, it was pretty brutal. The unanswered punches that I was delivering, and man, I was just thinking in my head, is this man gonna stop it? Like, what do I have to do to get this done? And unfortunately, I had to suck it up and go another round. And Chris, being the champ he is, he came forward and tried to get it, but you know, I knew I was gonna shut him down.
Is it hard for you to go out there after the bell, knowing that you've already kind of like ended this guy, to go out there and still, you know, go out there and hit him with everything you got? Is it tough for you? Like, you wrestle with that mentally?
It was tough because I wasn't sure if the fight was over or not. I was sitting there in between rounds. I was like, did they call the fight, or is it the end of the round? Are they gonna allow him to come back in and fight me? And you know, it's kind of a big adrenaline dump. And I was like, because I thought it was almost over, and then all of a sudden he's coming back in and swinging, and I'm like, here we go again, like, you know, suck it back up and get it done.
It was good to see Chris Weidman recover to carry out that interview.
I was going to say, what is with the highway in the back?
Yeah, I know. Like,
where is he shooting that from?
Of course, we're the TMZ guy. What's his name again? Jason?
I think
TMZ?
it's Jason.
He looks a lot like Chris Weidman, by the way. I agree.
I thought he looks a lot like Diego Costa.
Combination of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Fair enough. But you were saying before.
Okay, so before we got to the video, which is rightly so a good point, like even when the man who's delivering the punches thinks that the fight should have been stopped, that's a good indicator of where that fight should have went. But there's the opposite side. There's many a times in how many fights have we seen where in both boxing and UFC has a fight been stopped too early? And people often call for that. And from a referee standpoint, I think they will rather call the fight early than call it late, of course.
What's the harm of stopping? I mean, a championship fight, a little bit different, a little more on the line, a lot more money to be thrown in the circle. But what's the harm in stopping a fight? Maybe slightly too, or maybe, just maybe. And it's always debatable. Yeah. And the fighters is rarely going to be like, no, I'm happy they stopped the fight. No. That's not how the fighters work. The fighters want to keep fighting.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is you can't take the judgment of the fighter completely, because fighters are obviously driven by adrenaline and they can't be thinking straight all the time. But as many times you got to look to the trainers as well, because they can judge it based on how they think their fighter's performing, and it's all about the safety. So, but I think in this instance, we both agree that this fight went on just a little bit too long. Maybe just a couple of black eyes too long.
A few right battered eyes too long. By the way, did you know, little fact of the day, the actual practice of throwing in the towel is not allowed in Nevada under UFC rules. In Nevada, cornermen are required to alert a nearby commission inspector that they wish to stop the fight. Then the inspector will pass on the information to the referee, which puts this really weird and maybe slightly comedic image in my head of someone throwing in a towel and then just getting penalized for it.
Just someone
deduct the point.
Someone just blocking the towel.
Stop the fight.
Someone just. So there you go, Rocky. You don't have to feel guilty about not throwing the towel in for Apollo.